Okay, let's give this a shot. All right, this is what I use. Antler tan from Van Dyke's. It's LT 895 in the catalog. Super sticky. You're gonna have this stuff everywhere, so do it in a spot you don't mind if it gets this on it. Well, it doesn't really hurt anything, but it is really sticky. It cleans up with hot water, warm water, soap. It cleans right up, but it's sticky. Okay, these antlers right here, this is what I'm going to show you how I do this on. These have been done for well over 15 years. Okay, first, I use a drill bit. A little tiny drill bit. Okay, see that? Little drill bit. Put it in the drill. And then I'll drill it in each tip. I'll go in each tip of this antler. This one only has one, but it's wide, so I'll put 2 holes in it, and I'll go all the way to the bottom of that drill bit. I'll make it that deep. Once I do that, I like to use glass. If you use plastic, I poke holes in it. So I'll fill this up probably halfway. On this rack right here, I'm going to use, depending on how soft this is, I'm going to probably use 2 of these full, if not more. So that's four cups of this to do this rack. So the needles I use, this is the needles I use. They're 18 gauge. They look like this. They make different size syringes for those needles. Depends on which one you like. I prefer the smaller one, even though I got to fill it more. So basically, I just suck it right out of that glass. I already have my holes drilled. I start at the base. And I try to get in the bottom. I'll try to get in underneath there, best I can. I'll go all the way around here trying to find a spot where I can push, because sometimes you'll push and you can tell it's not going, so just pull it out, but point it away from you, because when you pull that sucker out, it's going to shoot it out of there. So I start working my way up this antler, just trying to find spots that are going to be pushing that out. If I find a spot and I'm getting a ton of blood out of these tips, or one tip, I'll just try to stay in that same hole until that starts coming out clear. Now that doesn't mean that you've got it clean, because there's vessels all in here, blood vessels. So I go up this antler. I'll poke holes, try it here, try it here, try it here, try it down in here. I'll go into these tips. These tips here, you can drill a hole if you want. I usually just use my needle and poke it down inside there. A lot of the horns we get are hard up to about here. So when you're pushing this in, if you cause a bubble, don't push it out, because you'll push the velvet off. Just poke a hole and drain it, push it out, or suck it out to get that bubble out of there. I'll go all the way up this antler. Really like to get in here. I'll start pushing back this way, not just this way. And as you go up this antler, putting holes and trying to push out all this blood, you might put this here, and you might have blood coming out here. Stay in that hole till all that blood's out. You know, I'll go all the way up these tines, all the way up this tine. I just poke holes, push it, shove it in. If I ain't getting anything, I move over, and I just go all over this thing. Be real careful. This is you can see that mark, looks just like a finger, doesn't it? You know, finger. That's from me hanging on too tight, pushing the hole, and I push that velvet right off of there. This is mine, so it doesn't matter. There's a bunch of different ways to do this. This is the injecting way. Some guys use alcohol, denatured alcohol. I've never had an issue with this stuff. It works great. All my antlers come out really good. Some guys just spray it on, and if your horns are hard under here, I could see how that would work, because you're just getting, you're just basically tanning this. But up in here, they're going to be soft towards these ends, and I don't personally see how that's going to get that blood out of there. They're going to rot. Some guys say they don't. That's their choice. They can do what they want. I try to get every drop of blood out of here. Once I'm getting all the clear, no more blood coming out of this antler, I'll hang them up. If you can't finish them that day, you can always hang them and come back to them the next day as long as it's cool. I don't like to hang them when it's hot. They will rot even with this stuff in it. You don't want to hang them when it's warm. I have a walk-in, so I put them in there and let them, with a fan, dry them cool. Once they're completely dried, then you can just hang them in your shop and they'll be good. Before I mount them, I wash them off really good with Dawn soap. So you're gonna have chunks of blood, hard blood on the ends. Soak them real good, get them real wet, and that'll come right off. I just squirt them down, get them real wet, wash them with soap, rinse that off. Sometimes I shampoo them if they have longer hair. This one, I don't know if you can tell, but the hair on this one's really short, real short hair. All these basically have short hair on them. This one right here, this buck right here, this has really long hair. I don't know if you can see it, but it has real long hair, so I'll use shampoo on one like this. Basically, I think that about covers everything that I do. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. I'll help you out any way I can. Don't be afraid of it. If a customer comes in and wants it done, it's really easy, but it's really messy and really time consuming.